Their mark in South Florida. All the action on SNY. Mark.
Absolutely. Lost his friends.
Now it's not even Marlins.
His last start was against the Yankees. He was a tough luck loser.
Reached base safely in 21 of 4. Give it to the boy.
I mean,
on the ground to the right. Enabled him to enjoy early success in the big leagues. 1-2 coming to McNeil. Left Chisholm goes out to get it. And that's the second.
Right-handed hitting Alonso.
And look what he's done in the big league. Alfaro gets in front of it and picks it off to retire. The Ryan De La Cruz has been in there every day since they traded for him. Here's the two Marlins this year, hitting around 140. Dom Smith is there waiting for it. And some strikes tonight. Third game of a 4 round. Shallow center. Out goes McNeil calling.
2 sac flies last night.
2 for. That's hammered down the right field line. Great arm, but Dom gets there easily. That's it toward the middle. That's a base hit for Baez. Smith. Michael 1 for 4 in this series.
Sorry, Gary, you make a good point.
He and his at bat. And Conforto takes out. Hitting just .217 as a left. And that's topped past and successful this year. Most of that, though. And Nito hammers one on the ground. Aguilar. And they did score. Carrasco, 1 career run batted in. Gets the bunt down, but it's too hard. And on the air, the Mets now have a 3-0 lead. Now Brandon Nimmo slaps one back to Thompson. A chance. Inning. I mean, Carrasco would take the RBI. Don't get me wrong. In extremely short order. And a good slider to
the rear, so he can wipe hitters out, especially with the slide.
Carrasco is a guy who should be able to pitch from now. And Conforto and Nimmo come together. Alfaro 1 for 3 in this series. Had an RBI double last night. Piece next to Carrasco. And then Carrasco. New York, we go to the third. Jeff McNeil into shallow center field. Lewis in his first time around. And now he's in the Mets bullpen tonight. That's outside ball. Invisible. And it's rounded. Right. So in a way, it makes sense for a slide on a fielder's choice. In comes Brinson.
And pitcher gets a lead. He starts to fill up that strike zone.
And that's lined toward the middle. One hopper.
Able to get it on the backhand, but he didn't get a lot on it. So,
you know, on the spot.
Yeah,
Alex, 2 aging pitchers. Hit on the ground sharply. That's down the hit of the night. A 1-out double in the third. Jackson and now Zach Thompson has got 1 hit in 9 big league.
You have to decide if that being hurt.
That one's held by Nito for if they're able to get to October. Shallow left, and out goes Baez to call, and came in on Thompson's error with the third run of. One's drilled to right field, and over comes De La Cruz.
Marlins face the Mets so many times.
Rodriguez joining that bullpen. And
13 home runs. That's pretty outstanding.
Jackson could get a tag on. That's lined to center field, and that's down. Out single. Third in the second inning. It was strictly designed to try and get that second inning. And that's grounded on the left side. Chisholm. Brandon this year is hitting .417 with runners in. And Nimmo hits the changeup on the ground deep. Well, right now we get to watch Isan Diaz fly out to left field his first time up. And he rolls over one to the right side. From saying where we are.
The NSA. Yeah.
Line the other way by Aguilar.
Play first hang. No, that wasn't a hang.
Well, that makes perfect sense, right? If Baez is left most times of any team, it's a bad combination.
Got cut short, I would imagine, is weighing very heavily on him.
The art. Jeff has popped up and flied out 0 for 2. Alonso. Field. Easy play for Alfaro, if any.
Really killing lefties so far this year.
And Pete chases a high fastball, and Detweiler ball 1. Slapped the other way, but right at it. It's a different pitch for Carrasco. One we have not seen in that game. His first start since the trade. That slashed the other way. A base hit for Alfaro.
Tight. So what it does is it gives the appearance of being a
Scherzer, by the way, makes his first start for the Dodgers tonight.
Does.
After trying out for several teams, the Mets watched him as well. That's chopped slowly. Tough play. And Jackson goes down swinging. And that's.
This has been his most
of the year in Toronto. Has struggled mightily since coming over to Miami. 24 home runs now for Hoskins. Talk about hot and cold.
coach, right?
Ed Blankmeyer. 2-2 coming. And it's lined as a single. And it gets the Marlins on the board. It's now 3
in the 5th inning, and Panic took advantage. Pitched on Monday through 13 pitches. As Gary said, only 2.
Luke trying to pick him up. And Chisholm bounces one to short, hurrying the fielder's choice, and that's all. Chisholm beats the rap at first. Diaz is flied to left and grounded to second.
Maybe second game.
1-2 coming. On the outside corner.
Well, Pop was originally drafted by the Dodgers, but involved in the.
But that McNeil is more comfortable playing second than he is playing great at third, although he can do an adequate job there. And field. And back goes Alfaro to get it. 2 out. Made some starts for the Marlins this year. Might need you on standby. The art chases one for strike.
Well, Familia, as we've talked, has been outstanding.
It's unhittable if you're Familia, and if you do give up a hit, it's usually.
And that hanging slider hit deep to left field. Made no mistake. And the Mets' early 3-run lead in this game is gone. The Marlins have tied it up. And Brinson goes down swinging on the 4-seam.
Bullpen in the place where they have to be perfect.
Oh, also, go. Here's Brian Anderson, who's flied out and grounded out. He drives one the other way toward. So here's Alfaro, an opposite field hit to lead off the 5th. And he swings and misses at a sinker. And
well, that's what Familia does when he's at his best with that sinker.
Two coming. Struck him out. 6th. Marlins have come from 3 runs down to tie. Nito hits one toward the middle of the diamond. The coffee is to die for. Mint chocolate chip. 2-2 coming to Drury. And he grounds that one right. Nimmo's 0 for 3 tonight. And he pulls that one on the ground into right field.
He has to face Alonso, who's murdered left-handed hitter. And
he slices that one toward the left field line.
Hitting by Jeff McNeil, both by Nimmo and McNeil.
That's it. Side retired.
Seems to have found his control.
On Monday, and they put him on the COVID injury on deck to pinch hit for Miami. And the slider in for a call, 3rd strike for 4. Forgiving all the time. A long way to go, and he gets there to make the play to reach. 2-2 from Castro, and Chisholm lines one toward the middle, but right there it's Bass in that game on Monday. Tom Smith added a 1-2 to Baez. And Javi lifts one down the right field line, slice of the year, and Baez puts the Mets in front of the top of the 8th. It's 4-3 New York.
And so much talent to be able to take a pitch off the strike days of August.
And Conforto's got a base hit. Chased down.
Well, Detweiler and Pop were very efficient.
And VR goes down swinging on the slider. And he strikes out Nito with a high. JD, who was 1 for 3 last night, drove in a run with a double, trying to keep this inning moving. 3-2, and he hits it on the ground in the hole. Okert's side is a free agent. And Nimmo takes ball 4. Here comes.
This is the force field working overtime here.
But that's Nimmo.
Well, yes, exactly. And look what.
And McNeil taps one to the left side. Tough play.
This point in the game, and considering what has.
Almora at 3rd, Nimmo at 2nd, McNeil away, but there is De La Cruz to grab it. Pitched the 8th, and then Trevor May pitched the 9th. But now mixing in his curveball and changeup. And that was slapped on the ground. He grounds one to the middle of the dime. So you basically got you've got a free strike.
Yes.
Out of Miami. Line. Shutouts?
No shutouts.
Really?
Nothing.
It's an inning. Steven Okert, a walk and a hit in a third. Second home run as a Met, 24th of the year, with up 5-3 in the ninth. Cruz, this one will stay in the park, and De La Cruz makes an important piece, sending their closer. And Conforto drives one to center field. Back goes one with a ground out, but since then 3 consecutive strikeouts. Dodgers last night amidst all the inflatable trash cans. Fastball in there on base tonight, including 3 in the 7th and 3 in. Again, the 3-2 to Nito. And he struck him out with the high fastball. Joe and Trey and Mike play good riddance in the on. 4 1/3, 2 runs, 5 hits. Aaron Loop got 2 outs from Miller. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming from May to Anderson. And as a pitcher, when you get a call like that,
Let's get a little more careful.
little tapper. De La Cruz had an infield hit and scored a run in the 5th. 3-2 from May to De La Cruz. He struck him out, and the ball game is on. Much needed win as they snap a 3-game losing streak.